Warning: this podcast episode contains swearing, drinking, references towards violence, and copious amounts of yeets. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Demons and Bellinis, the podcast where we whip up a drink and talk about some spooky shit. Why can I never do that correctly?
You can never do it.
Okay, the podcast where we whip up a drink and talk about some spooky shit. I'm the boogeyman who's just a man who's just up for some boogieing. Molly.
And I'm the drag king that's gonna make history sexy again. Ashley, aka Scott Fitzgerald. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. So, I have spent a long time thinking about this. If I were ever to be a drag king, I would show up in full-on fitted, like 1910s suits.
Okay.
I'd have the little mustache, and I would do those eyebrows like Cracker and Aquaria did on the first episode of season 10 of Drag Race.
Yeah, they'll like tilt up.
And like have like really greased back hair.
Yes.
And like I'd look really mournful and stuff
I
like
love
that.
it.
And then I would do songs by like Jack White or Gautier or Hosier.
Yeah.
And my name is Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Is that sexy?
Yes, it really is.
Yeah.
You know what my drag king name would be? Dick Van Dyke.
I just love Scott Fitzgerald because you have to say it so fast.
Yeah.
It's like bringing to the stage, Scott Fitzgerald.
I think you should really go into the drag king industry.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I would do it.
Yeah.
I know the lyrics to like "Love Is Blindness" by Jack White like off by heart.
Nice.
I would give you a very emotional rendition of that song.
I really believe you. Okay, so
anyways, what are we
today's
talking about?
episode is about the Surrency haunting. So grab a beverage of your choosing, get cozy, and check your closet for monsters. And remember, stay peachy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you remember a couple weeks ago when we talked about poltergeist activity?
Poltergeist.
Yeah. This is another episode about poltergeist.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be, I guess, I mean, I really like poltergeist cases because they're definitely the most exciting.
So from here on in, whenever we bring up poltergeist, it's always
Poltergeist. Great.
That's how you know the difference between a regular ghost and a poltergeist.
Yeah.
Does the ghost yeet? Neat. No, it doesn't. Neat is the negative of yeet.
Okay, what would the reverse of yeet be? Would that be you just catching like a can of Coke in a hallway? Neat.
No,
that's pretty neat. No, but instead of an empty can, it's a full can. So you just catch the full can.
You catch the full can, it explodes. Now it's empty. This bitch empty. Yeet.
But when you get the Coke, you just go, oh, neat.
Anyways.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't remember, poltergeist is basically just, as our definition would state it, a ghost that just fucks things up.
Yeah.
Something that, like, moves stuff around.
Typically, it's intelligent, it moves things, so it has the energy required to actually move something, to touch people, to, like, you know, interact, say stuff. You know, it's a very intelligent spirit. Whereas most ghosts are typically
residual.
Yeah. I don't want to say non-intelligent. That sounds so mean. They're doing their best.
Yeah, they really are. I don't think that we should intelligence shame any ghosts.
Unless they're racist.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how... Oh, God, yeah. I guess... Yeah, a lot of ghosts are really racist. Especially down in, like, where we're going to be taking ourselves. I don't want to say anything about this place.
Oh, no.
Like, you guys are really lovely people, but we're going down to Georgia. So, like...
These ghosts are probably going to be racist?
Actually, I don't... there's nothing about racism in this, which is pretty good. But, what's very interesting is that when I was looking up this case, it was, like, batshit crazy. But when I looked up on YouTube, because, like, usually on YouTube, there's a lot of, like, coverage of cases, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's, like, a pretty big thing on YouTube. And there was nothing on this, pretty much. There were maybe 2 videos. and they weren't even like good videos.
Oh god.
So, I don't know, because I thought this case was so fascinating. I hadn't heard about this before. I kind of went down the researching void, but like, I don't know. I think it's so interesting.
Okay, well, tell me. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
You've piqued my interest. You've moistened my interest. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, that's really bad. Can you please take that back? Can you issue a formal apology to our audience?
Here, I'll try to take it back. It's moistened.
Okay. So, this place is located in the town of Surrency in Georgia. On the outskirts of town is the site of where a house was burnt down in 1925 after having been abandoned for several years. And this predates the naming of the town itself because the people who actually resided in this town are the namesakes of this town. So, the Surrency family. And so, like, this is because the previous, as far as I can tell, the only tenants of this house had been tormented with a pretty nasty poltergeist issue.
Ew.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, like, go over the family. We have the father, who's named Alan Surrency. He was the sawmill overseer. There's a mother, Mrs. Surrency. I actually couldn't find a name for her. And then we have 8 children who range from 3 to 21. The only, yeah, no, that's a pretty big range, but the only child who I actually saw was named Clementine.
Oh, that's a cute name.
Yeah, it really is. And she was one of the younger daughters. I wasn't sure if she was the youngest. There's not a lot of information on this case, unfortunately. So, like, I couldn't find an exact date for when the occurrences began, but most sources tend to date this in the early 1870s. We know that the hauntings had begun sometime before 1872, when Alan Surrency recording the happenings in a letter of October that year. The letter reads, "A few minutes after my arrival, I saw the glass tumblers begin to slide off the slab and the crockery fall upon the floor and break. The books began to tumble from their shelves onto the floor, while brickbats, billets of wood, smothering irons, biscuits, potatoes, tin pans, water buckets, pitchers, etc. began to fall in different parts of my house. There have been many other strange occurrences around my house. These facts have been established by 75 or 100 witnesses."
Oh, Jesus.
But I don't know who these 75 or 100 witnesses are.
You know what I love about... Sorry, I'm readjusting.
It's fine.
What I love about these kinds of sources is just the kind of, like, straightforward, to the point, no emotion of these kinds of sources, where there's so many letters where it's like, oh yeah, that happened. Anyways.
This was also a letter that was sent to, I think it was the Savannah something newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
So it was two newspaper company that they were in touch with.
It just makes me think of, like, those logbooks from, like, the caravans in the West, where it's like, oh yeah, Cindy died today. We're also low on potatoes. Right?
And low on daughters.
Shit. But, like, I don't know, I just find that so funny.
Yeah, no, I totally know.
Or, like, the one where it's, like, from 1969, and it's like, oh, Brett asked me out to the dance. Also, somebody landed on the moon today. It's, like, just an afterthought.
69.
Molly!
Moon landing.
I'm gonna land on that dick.
Jesus Christ. So, at first, it was believed that this was, like, the result of an earthquake. But,
Yeah,
like,
like,
no one
everything-
else had experienced a tremor. Plus, like, this being an earthquake would not explain the rest of the happenings, which actually went on for, like, several years.
Oh, Jesus. Why didn't they just move out?
We're gonna get to that. So, the list of paranormal happenings includes, because I actually found a list of this, unexplained screams, voices coming from empty bedrooms, plates, platters, and books, like, flying from their shelves.
Yeet!
Ink bottles leaping off of a table.
Yeet! Yeet!
Doors opening and closing.
Close.
This one I find really interesting. Hot bricks falling out of nowhere and landing on the roof and in the yard, almost hitting Clementine, actually.
Okay.
How?
Where are the...
This was, like, literally only mentioned in, like, maybe 2 articles that I read.
Where are these bricks coming from?
It was a brick house.
Well, so does that mean that the ghost is,
I
like,
think.
taking the bricks out of the walls, heating them up, and then throwing them?
I don't know.
I want logic,
Don't
Molly.
judge these ghosts.
I want fucking, like, are these bricks from hell? Or it's just
That was such a weird sound. That was me drinking. I'm so sorry.
like, are those bricks from hell or some shit? Jesus. You go down, there's like, hey, Satan, can I borrow some bricks? Thanks. Thanks, Satan.
Is that your demon voice?
Oh, thanks, Satan. I just wanted some bricks. Thanks, Satan.
That would be a good intro, though. And I sold my soul to Satan for a couple of hot bricks.
What the fuck was that sound? What did I just do?
I don't know, but that was very Katya All-Stars 2 Snatch Game, which I'm rewatching right now. I love that fucking season.
I was in the middle of that sound, and I was like, I can't make that noise, so I'm just gonna have to go with it.
I'm not done this list, Ashley.
Oh, fuck.
So, they heard a pair of boots, possibly 3 boots, from one other source.
Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club looking at her. She's got 3 legs.
So they heard footsteps across the floor.
Okay.
In their hallway.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting that they could actually tell that it was boots.
Well, boots
But I
are
feel
very
like I'd be able to
distinct.
tell, yeah.
Boots are very distinct. Do you hear
Yeah.
like a polished shoe, like a dress shoe? That's more of a click. Whereas
Yeah.
boots are like thud.
Yeah. I have like a couple pairs of boots, and I feel like I can definitely tell the difference between,
Yeah,
at
they're
least
heavy.
in sound. Yeah. At meal times, plates would be thrown off of the table and onto the family's laps.
I feel like that's just a ghost being like, you can't cook, bitch.
Maybe. Logs rolling out of the fireplace. But I feel like that could just be gravity.
That could be explained.
Get this. Several hogs and chickens appeared in the living room, seemingly out of nowhere, and frightened one particular reporter out of his wits.
Bet you wouldn't be freaked out if, like, Wilbur the pig just showed up in your living room. Like, what the fuck?
And chickens. But specifically, have you seen that video of that really, really fucking big chicken?
Oh,
Imagine if it's that chicken.
Please, can you... There's a video of a massive chicken. Please go look it up. Or have Molly, can you put that in the description?
Yeah, sure. It's super terrifying.
Or like that video of the pigeon pretending to
Yeah.
be a chicken.
But I don't know. I feel like that big chicken, I just love that chicken.
You do.
Yeah.
It was your pet in D&D until...
It was. Yeah.
Until Flurkermps the frog ate it.
Rip, big boy.
Rip big boy. Rip big boy!
Sorry, we're just talking about our D&D campaign now.
Yeah,
anyway,
anyways.
Yeah. Bed covers rolling up and down during the middle of the night. Glowing red eyes spotted around the property.
Ew.
And
That sounds very Bell Witch.
yeah, this is actually, like, a lot of the blogs actually mention the Bell Witch in this, because I think it was in a similar area. I don't really know a lot about the Bell Witch case.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that episode of Ghost Adventures.
We'll probably have to cover that at some point.
Bell Witch is a great story, though.
And there was also one source that reported when the family would have silverware in their hands, it would either bend or break.
Bitch, that's expensive china, fam.
I know, yeah.
Polished spoons.
Yeah.
Oh, was this around the time when people would collect polished spoons as, like, collections? Like, they collect stamps, but they collected spoons?
I don't know, but I hope so.
That was a thing.
Was it?
Yeah, people collected spoons.
That's so interesting.
And they were, like, engraved with, like,
Yeah.
King Albert's face on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would imagine that these spoons would be pretty expensive, because it was mentioned in a lot of these posts, or these blogs, was that this family was rich for the area.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if someone bent my like, Queen Victoria spoon backwards.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, fuck, fam.
God.
Damn it.
So, needless to say, a lot of the family lost a significant amount of sleep from this,
yeah.
and began to stop eating, seeing as, like,
Ooh.
because a lot of, like, the silverware and the plates started happening, like, you know, obviously they're at dinner,
Yeah.
and a lot of these other occurrences happened at night when they were sleeping.
That's
So they just
freaky.
started to almost cut out these activities.
How do you cut out eating? You can't...
Well, they just, like, were really hesitant to eat, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just, like, go outside and just eat that corn on the cob as quick as you can. Just...
Well, we're actually going to get back
Cob
to
and
that.
everything.
Why they might not have been able to just leave. So, later this house became somewhat of a tourist attraction. So, like, hundreds, if not thousands of people...
Bridget!
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 Because, poltergeists, it really brings in. It brings in the masses.
It does.
So hundreds of people and, reporters came to the house to witness these happenings.
Yeah.
And allegedly were not disappointed because apparently, I found this, one quote, was that the poltergeists were not shy.
If I were a poltergeist, I'd just be standing there like, I have severe social anxiety. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And they're like, do something, ghost! I'm like, yeet! Oh, God. Oh, God. Though I did throw a chocolate bar across my classroom last week and yell yeet while I did it, so maybe I could be a successful poltergeist.
I believe in you.
Thanks, Molly.
School's not important, just be a poltergeist. So,
oh, shit, I gotta die now.
Guess I'll just die. These visitors included scientists, researchers, spiritualists, mediums, and other religious officials like clergymen. One visitor, Herschel Tillman, stated that place was possessed by something evil.
Yeah, I mean, if it's making you feel hesitant to eat, that sounds evil.
It gets a lot more violent.
Fuck.
So, one occasion that I found was when Mrs. Surrency was sewing in the living room, and the sewing objects in her hand, which was a thimble, needle, and scissors, flew from her hands were suspended in midair.
Oh my god.
Isn't that just a gross
that's
picture?
Horrifying.
Yeah.
All those things could kill her. Maybe not the thimble. But yet everything else could kill her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, as times went on, these happenings became more frequent and more violent. They specifically targeted the young female member of the household, Clementine.
What is with poltergeist, you sexist pigs?
We're gonna get back to that anyway. So, she suffered from hair pulling.
Ew.
Multiple occasions of having her covers ripped off of her in the night.
That's gross.
And even at one point, when she was sleeping in her bed, it flipped over and turned sideways.
She got suffocated by a mattress!
She wasn't suffocated.
But it was the same thing where it's that woman in Britain where it's she was sleeping and then the mattress, it felt like she was being suffocated by the mattress. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah, totally. I feel like we need to make a checklist for poltergeist.
We should.
Yeah. Yelling yeet.
Targeting women.
Beds.
Things being levitated.
And clowns.
Clowns?
Yeah, from Poltergeist.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay.
I don't do horror movies very well.
That's fair. So, after that, the family decided to move. But before they did, on the day that they decided to move, allegedly, an andiron, which is, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's those things in old movies where you see a log perched on two plates almost. Yeah, the things that hold wood.
Things that hold, in fireplaces, they hold wood. She showed me a picture. I see it now.
Yeah. We'll tweet it out. No, just Google andiron. Okay, so an andiron lifted from the fireplace, traveled into the hallway where one of the sons was, and began to strike one of the sons in the head multiple times.
Oh my god!
While the other brother watched, unable to stop it before it returned to its space in the fireplace, leaving the boy bleeding on the fucking floor.
Oh my god. Those things looked heavy. Is he dead? Did he die?
He wasn't dead. No.
Holy shit.
Actually, I didn't see if he died or not, but I'm assuming not.
If it was that's heavy steel.
It's heavy.
Right?
It's iron.
If it hit you in the head, you'd be dead.
Yeah, I have a very tiny iron cauldron up there.
Yeah.
And that's actually pretty heavy.
Yeah,
if I hit you in the head with that, which I wouldn't, that would
I'd go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it hit him in the back, maybe he'd be fine.
Yeah,
but if it hit him in the head, he's
multiple
done.
times.
He's done.
Yeah, I hope he was okay.
Holy shit.
After that, the family moved. And while they still reported happenings, they were never as bad as they were on the farm, and only ended once Alan died in 1877.
Ooh.
So
maybe that makes you think that he was the one.
Maybe we're actually going to get into some theories about this.
Ooh,
yeah. So something interesting to note is that there were never any recorded apparitions, which I think is also kind of common in poltergeist cases.
Yeah, you don't really see the thing that does it.
No.
Which is weird.
You see apparitions in terms of when they're
you see
residual spirits.
Yeah, you see ghosts, but you don't typically see poltergeists. It's the same thing with demonic activity. You don't really see it.
Unless in dreams, because I've noticed that a lot in demonic cases, they usually see some sort of goat people, which is Really gross. Actually, I was listening to The Cryptid Keeper the other day, and they actually talked a little bit about why goat eyes might be so terrifying and why goats are terrifying in general is because when something has human eyes or even like dog or cat eyes, you can see the motivation behind them, but there's very little room for like reading how goat eyes look. They're really weird looking.
They're like all like black except for like one spot.
Yeah, it's like yeah, they're weird. I feel like I would also be better with like pure black eyes than I would with goat eyes.
Also, horse eyes.
You can't trust horses.
Horses can kill you, man. Wait, oh fuck. Horses can track humans. Eligible to track humans. Oh god. Or like that story of a horse eating a person during one of the world wars. That was a thing that apparently happened where a horse ate someone.
I mean, was the person dead?
I think so.
Okay, because it's just like, we're all animals.
But horses aren't supposed to eat. I don't know how true that story is. Don't fact check me.
Like, I
just saw it on Tumblr, and it's just like, some horse ate a person. It was like, fuck. But that's like, I wouldn't be surprised.
If I'm going back to the earth, like, I'm vegetarian now, but, you know, in the past, I've eaten a lot of animals. I wouldn't have any issue with another animal eating me, honestly.
That's valid.
Yeah. Do whatever you want with my body, honestly. As long as my organs are donated, I'm fine. Anyway, let's get into the theories.
Was it a horse?
I hope so. Okay, so there was one theory that was presented was that Alan Surrency was a Satanist, or he committed sins that had to be punished. Because, again, all these happenings stopped after he died.
The sin sounds so medieval.
That
totally
sounds
so medieval. Like Marjorie Kemp being like, I'm so sinful because I love that dick, but I must suffer because I love that dick. I just summarized Marjorie Kemp.
Comment below if you've ever suffered for that dick.
God's like, Marjorie, you need to lay off the dick. She's like, no! And then like cries for 2 hours. That's all you need to know about Marjorie Kemp.
Okay. Thank you. And then there was actually another theory which was presented by a medium who stayed at the house, was that the family were all powerful psychics with little knowledge of how to communicate with the spirits, which then, because these spirits were unable to contact them and communicate with them and couldn't get what they wanted, they became frustrated and hence became violent. And this was particularly focused around the little girl, Clementine, was that she was a powerful psychic, and that's why they attacked her particularly.
I
know you don't like psychics.
No, I do, like, I don't know, I just find it, I like the idea of it, I just find it really hard to believe in for some reason.
But you do tarot cards.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't know.
I guess, yeah, divination and being able to see ghosts is two very different things.
Yeah, I don't know, I can't explain it, I just have a lot of hesitation towards believing psychic stories, if that makes sense. I've always been like that, I'm just very hesitant about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a hard thing to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not, like, looking for proof. It's more or less just, like, there are so many stories of people lying that's where my hesitation comes in. Where it's, like, I just...
Yeah, because you're so interested in the spiritualist movement.
Yeah. Where it's, like, so many people who are just lying out of their ass.
Yeah, oh, God, what were those two girls? The two twins,
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
The ones who, like, cracked their toes.
Yeah. They, like, cracked their toes to create sound, right? But
yeah,
it was,
knocking.
Like,
they were particularly good at knocking.
Yeah, but it's just their toes the whole time.
Yeah.
That's so fucked. But they made a shit ton of money out of it.
Oh, yeah, and then they were the ones who, like, started the movement, so, like, it never really stopped after them, and they were proved to be a hoax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. That's so. I'm more likely to believe that Alan was a Satanist.
Okay.
Because that's a common thing where, like, people who are Satanists tend to get pretty fucked up energy following them around.
Okay, here's the thing about Satanists, because there are a lot of satanic witches, which I'm not really religious in my witchcraft. It's more of a spiritual practice.
Yeah.
But I will say that you do need to protect yourself when you're doing witchcraft, because I've noticed sometimes if I don't cast a circle, I will feel something watching me.
Oh, fuck.
That was down in my basement when I used to do witchcraft down there. But I actually do it in the room now where we're recording. So it has some pretty good energy. But, like, I feel like making sure that you're protected, wearing proper sigils, talismans, saging your place if you feel comfortable with saging. Don't call it smudging. That's not culturally okay. But doing whatever you need to feel protected. Wear a condom. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like what I meant is that like if he was a Satanist and he didn't, if protect himself like from the energies that he was trying to conjure, it probably would have followed him and then therefore had effects in his home.
Yeah.
Or if he did it in his home. Because there are stories about one person in a family doing that inside the home, and then the home gets fucked as a result.
Yeah. No. I'm very glad that I don't do that kind of stuff because I wouldn't want to put my family through that.
Yeah. I feel like that's just some weird decision making. Yeah. I can't explain why people would make those decisions, but that's kind of what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, and I mean but then again, I don't think that Satanism is nearly as bad as presented to be. Like, I had a conversation with someone recently about the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and how Satanism is portrayed in that, because what I noticed, at least when I was watching it, is that it very much feels like dark Catholicism. Like, there was like the dark confession, and I was just like, it's not really just an edgy version of Christianity. It's a different religion in itself. Not that I know a lot about Satanism, like I said, but that's at least my impression of it. And also, like, it wasn't really portrayed very well.
Yeah. I mean, like, just thinking of, like, the whole, like, occult, that kind of stuff. Yeah. It just seems, like, you think about it, seems scary, right? And there's, like, so many stories.
In some cases,
yeah. Like, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of stories where people do bring harm to other people. They do hurt or kill people. Right?
Yeah, I think that's the issue with not being educated before you attempt stuff. Because so on Samhain this year, which is Halloween, it's when the veil is thinnest, I did contact spirits. But I put so much research into that. I had so much protection around me. Yeah. And nothing bad happened. Yeah. So I don't think that spirit contact itself is bad.
You just need to be careful.
Exactly. Yeah. Make sure that you're so protected. Just
how did you do it, if I can ask?
I casted a circle with salt. I saged the place. I lighted protective candles. I had all my crystals with me. I had sigils. I had my pentacle necklace on. Yeah. And then immediately after, I said goodbye to them. Yeah. Because they were my relatives. And then I immediately saged the place again. Yeah. And uncasted my circle, and then had an amethyst under my pillow as I slept so that I wouldn't get night terrors.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which actually might help you because Ashley's had a couple.
Yeah, I've experienced it twice now, and it's horrifying every single time. Sleep paralysis, and I'm worried that because it's happened twice, it's going to happen again. But the last time I felt it, I didn't tell you this because it still really freaks me out, because what I told you was that it felt like someone was holding me down, but more specifically, it felt like someone was holding my neck down and pulling my hair. Oh god. Yeah, so it's like hand on my neck, and then
and I remember you mentioning in our second episode that your worst fear is being held down with something in
Not
bed.
held down, dragged down my bed.
Okay,
dragged down my bed is like my whole worst fear, but honestly that goes hand in hand with anything happening, because the bed is meant to be your safe space, right? It's meant to be, it's your most vulnerable space, right? Yeah. Whether it's on your own or with someone that you want to share your bed with, it's expected that it's a safe spot. Yeah. So then to have the fear of or that feeling of someone holding you down to it,
or being forcibly dragged out
of that's horrifying.
Yeah. Right? And maybe that's why poltergeists do tend to attack people in bed. Yeah. It's probably because they are in their most vulnerable state.
Ever since I got these gems a few weeks ago, is I always wear with me now a amethyst, citrine, and a clear quartz. So it's I don't know. I just wear them every single day now. But
I have a ring that's enchanted for me to be protected. I'm actually not wearing it right now because I have a little blister from it because I wear it so much. It makes me feel a lot safer than I usually do. So.
Probably there's an explanation to sleep paralysis where it's just
oh, of course there
I'm just super exhausted, or that tends to be when it happens, is when I'm super exhausted. But it's absolutely horrifying every single time it happens. And it was I could feel my hands and feet moving, but nothing else was moving. Oh god. Right? So I was I was moving my hands and my feet, but nothing else was moving. Yeah. And I couldn't get anything else to move. So I'm just laying there doing that. I'm moving my hands back and forth right now. But it's it was bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre.
Actually, what's kind of interesting is that I learned from some sort of interview that the boys of BuzzFeed Unsolved actually have experienced night terrors. Oh, fuck. After a couple of their investigations, which I'm so surprised that they wouldn't mention that, because I feel like that is evidence in itself. Maybe
I feel like
a little bit.
Their definition of evidence is a lot different than what a lot of paranormal investigators consider their definition of evidence to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lot of people, like, take ghost hunters, for example. Anything that seems
remotely off,
that can be considered evidence. Unless you can, like, full on debunk it, it counts. Yeah. Which is valid, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas with them, it's like, we want a voice, we want to see it, that's it.
Okay, yeah.
Right? But yeah, so it's like they have that they don't want those specific things, but it's like, you can't always get that.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're just like, oh, we're going to sit here for exactly 10 minutes, and if nothing happens in that 10 minutes, we're going to leave. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You can't just sit there for exactly 10 minutes.
Well, the thing
and
is,
not, like, ask questions or anything. You need to, engage.
Yeah, no, this family was in their house for years.
Yeah.
Years. And that's how things, if you become familiar in an environment, if you stay for a certain amount of time,
you get accustomed to it.
Exactly.
And then if something breaks that routine, then you start to notice it, right?
Yes, and then ghosts also have to get accustomed to your routine.
Yeah.
Because it's very much like a roommate situation.
It's a shitty roommate situation.
Yeah. They're not even paying rent or fucking me.
If the ghosts aren't paying rent or fucking me, they can get out.
Okay. So, our third and final theory is that the town of Surrency is just a very haunted town. There's another ghost story from this town, you're gonna love this, called the Surrency Spook Lights.
Oh, spook lights!
The spook lights.
Oh, I love spook lights.
Yeah.
They're like the little, I don't want to ruin your story, but aren't they little light anomalies?
Yes.
But they're outside and they float around for long periods of time or something like that, right? Yeah, I love spook lights.
Yes. So those are it's a little yellow balled light which floats above the train tracks at night. And a theory regarding the spook light is that it's actually leftover spiritual energy from the Surrency Poltergeist case.
Oh. Ooh.
Because they only appeared in the early 20th century. Which is after he died.
That's interesting, because then that means, because you know that whole thing where it's like a lot of people who believe in ghosts use this theory to defend themselves, where it's like all matter has to go somewhere, right? So it's like that kind of, you can almost use that to argue that, because then that means that there is matter in that house that was making that happen, then they leave, and then that matter's still there. That means it's going somewhere, it's floating around, but it's still there.
Yeah. And it's also very interesting because train tracks itself, in like a symbolism point of view, is about travel, about the Industrial Revolution, and about how the world is changing.
There's also like a lot of energy generated by like that friction of the wheels on the track, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, it really is. So that's about all I have. I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but it's fine. So I have a question for you. Would you share a Bellini with a member of the Surrency family, and out of our little cast of characters, being the father, the mother, Clementine, and the little boy who was like destroyed by that fireplace thing? Who would you want to share with a Bellini, like share Bellini with, if you would share someone or share with someone, or would you rather share one with the Poltergeists? We don't know if it was one or two.
I wouldn't want to necessarily share Bellini with them, but I would want to somehow find out if Alan was involved in some scary things.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to find out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said,
I haven't wanted to share Bellini with anyone from these past few stories with you. Like, it's just,
you did want to share a Bellini with the ghost with the nice fingernails, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snatched.
Wig, but no, like The Exorcist. No, these people. They seem like they might want to. Actually, no. I'm not a virgin, so I might be fine. But like. Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'm a virgin, so I think I might be fine in the face of Satanists.
Like I said, I am a virgin. You didn't say I'm not a virgin.
I said I'm not.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I just misheard you. Anyway.
Did I say I am? Because I'm not.
I know you're not. We were talking about this earlier.
And I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no, we're
tell
not gonna.
Any more of
yeah,
that
no,
story.
we aren't. Yeah, but like I said, I'm really surprised that I haven't heard more about this case.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the most well-documented ones in American history because so many people came to this house and it was practically a tourist attraction, as poltergeist cases are. Bridget, did you hear what I saw?
Did you hear what I saw?
Fuck.
I don't know how to talk when I'm a little
Hot
bit...
bricks! Bridget!
Thanks for cutting me off.
Sorry.
God!
Fuck.
Don't look at me like that.
Continue.
I was just gonna say, when I'm a little bit drunk, I don't know how to grammar.
Same.
And then you were like, in my face. So.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, I would like to see more people cover this case because I think it's so interesting.
Send an email to Snack Bagels.
I wonder if he has. Oh, maybe he's covered the spook lights. But the thing is that there's not really a site.
They did kind of spook lights at Gettysburg.
Oh, okay. Because they haven't. I mean, there's not really a place to go to in terms of the Surrency haunting because it did burn down in 1925.
Yeah.
But they could visit the site itself.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, is that matter still even there, or has it just gone to the spook lights?
Good point.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all we got for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Also, I think this episode will be coming out around this date, but Code 1033, which is a friend of ours, and I will be appearing in later episodes, is actually premiering on December 16th, so make sure you check that out. This is premiering on December 8th, if I'm thinking correctly, so check it out in 8 days. Yeah.
Go support Molly and her other
Local podcasts.
adventures.
Yeah. The writer of the podcast is a genius, and I love her very much.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm gay for her. Oops. Anyway, take care. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and we hope that you enjoyed the episode. This episode features the voices of Molly Lorette and Ashley Smith. Our theme music was composed and produced by Larry Lorette. Our cover image was designed by Ashley Smith, and the sound editing was done by Molly Lorette. Have any comments, concerns, or cases you want us to cover? Email us at demonsandbellinis@gmail.com. You can also find us at Demons and Bellinis on Tumblr, Demons and Bellinis on Instagram, and at DBellinis on Twitter. That's capital D and capital B. You'll also be able to find case pictures tweeted out there and posted to our Instagram. And don't forget to check out Code 1033 coming out on the 16th. Thanks again, and we hope you keep your ears open.